Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today's video is a special countdown featuring the top 5 most valuable United Kingdom 1-penny coins from the years 1879, 1890, 1896, 1898, and 1917. These historic British pennies may look like ordinary old coins, but depending on their year, condition, mint variety, and rarity, some examples have sold for impressive amounts at auctions. Whether your coin is circulated, fine, very fine, extremely fine, or even damaged, it could still have collector value. Let's get started. First up, the United Kingdom 1-penny 1879. At first glance, a damaged 1879 penny may appear to be an ordinary old copper coin with little value. However, many collectors are surprised to learn that even well-worn or damaged examples can still attract interest because they are over 145 years old and represent the reign of one of Britain's most famous monarchs, Queen Victoria. While most damaged coins are worth only modest amounts, exceptional examples with rare varieties or outstanding preservation have sold for much higher prices at major auctions. In today's video, we'll uncover the history of this historic penny, examine its unique features, discuss collector demand, and reveal how much it can be worth in today's market. The United Kingdom 1-penny of 1879 was struck during the reign of Queen Victoria, who ruled from 1837 to 1901. The Victorian period was one of tremendous industrial growth, global trade, and expansion of the British Empire. Pennies were an essential part of everyday commerce and were used by millions of people across Britain. The 1879 penny was produced primarily at the Royal Mint in London using bronze, following the bronze coinage reform introduced in 1860. These coins circulated heavily for decades, passing through countless hands in markets, shops, and businesses. Because they were used daily, many surviving examples today show heavy wear, scratches, corrosion, or environmental damage. Even in damaged condition, these coins remain fascinating historical artifacts that connect collectors with Victorian Britain. The obverse of the 1879 penny features the famous portrait of Queen Victoria, often called the bun head portrait because of the hairstyle tied in a bun. Around the portrait appears the Latin inscription identifying Victoria as queen. The reverse displays the iconic image of Britannia seated with her trident and shield, symbolizing Britain's naval power and strength. The denomination 1 penny and the date 1879 appear prominently below Britannia. The coin weighs approximately 9.45 grams, has a diameter of 30.8 millimeters, and is composed of bronze. While millions were originally struck, collectors carefully examined these coins for unusual die varieties, attractive natural color, and any striking errors that may significantly increase their value. Standard 1879 1-penny in damaged condition is generally not considered rare, because a large number were produced and many examples have survived. However, age alone makes the coin desirable to collectors of Victorian coinage. Collectors usually prefer coins with original surfaces and minimal wear, but damaged coins still have value for beginners, historical collections, and educational purposes. Coins with scratches, corrosion, dents, cleaning marks, or edge damage typically sell for less than problem-free examples. Nevertheless, if a damaged 1879 penny happens to possess a scarce die variety, an unusual minting error, or exceptional historical provenance, collector demand can increase substantially. Some specialists actively search for rare varieties regardless of condition because such coins appear very infrequently. The value of an 1879 United Kingdom 1-penny depends greatly on its condition and whether it has any rare characteristics. A heavily damaged or corroded example usually sells for approximately $2 to $15. Circulated coin with moderate wear but no serious damage often brings around $20 to $60. A well-preserved fine or very fine example may sell between $75 and $200, depending on eye appeal. Extremely fine and about uncirculated coins frequently reach $300 to $800 at auctions. Beautiful mint state examples with original red or red-brown surfaces have sold for $1,000 to over $5,000, depending on grade and auction demand. Rare die varieties, unusual minting errors, or exceptionally preserved specimens may command even higher prices, with some exceptional auction results exceeding $10,000. Such prices are reserved for genuinely rare and certified examples rather than ordinary circulated coins. If you own an 1879 1-penny, avoid cleaning it, as cleaning often reduces collector value. Even if the coin appears dirty, original surfaces are usually preferred by experienced collectors. Store the coin in a protective holder to prevent additional scratches or corrosion. If you believe your coin has an unusual variety or exceptional quality, consider having it authenticated and graded by a professional coin grading service. Compare your coin carefully with auction records and reference books, paying close attention to details such as the date, portrait, lettering, and any unusual characteristics. Learning to identify rare varieties can make a significant difference in determining value. Remember that condition remains the most important factor in pricing. A damaged coin is still a wonderful piece of Victorian history, even if it is not worth thousands of dollars. The United Kingdom 1 penny 1879 is a remarkable reminder of the Victorian era and Britain's rich numismatic history. While most damaged condition examples are generally worth only a few dollars to a few dozen dollars, they remain popular with collectors because of their age and historical significance. Higher values are typically achieved only by well-preserved coins, rare varieties, or certified auction-quality specimens. Next up, the United Kingdom 1 penny 1917. At first glance, this old bronze penny may appear to be an ordinary coin that has survived more than a century in circulation. However, its rich history, connection to World War I, and growing interest among collectors make it a remarkable piece of British numismatic history. Many people wonder whether a worn or circulated 1917 penny could be worth more than its face value. In today's video, we'll explore the history of this coin, its unique design, how rare it really is, collector demand for circulated and damaged examples, and the latest auction market values in US dollars. Be sure to watch until the end because a small detail can make a huge difference in the value of this historic coin. The United Kingdom 1 penny dated 1917 was issued during one of the most significant periods in modern history, World War I. At that time, Britain was deeply involved in the war, and everyday life was affected by shortages, economic challenges, and military demands. Despite these hardships, the Royal Mint continued producing bronze pennies to keep the country's economy functioning smoothly. The 1917 penny was struck under the reign of King George V, whose portrait appears on the obverse of the coin. Millions of these pennies entered circulation and were used in daily transactions across the United Kingdom. Today, every surviving example represents a small but important piece of wartime history. The bronze penny served as the backbone of Britain's currency system for decades. Countless people used these coins to buy food, newspapers, transportation, and other daily necessities. Because of this heavy circulation, most surviving examples show significant wear, making high-grade specimens much more difficult to find than circulated ones. The obverse of the 1917 penny features the left-facing portrait of King George V, designed by Sir Bertram Mackennal. Around the portrait is the Latin inscription identifying George V as King and Emperor of India. The design reflects the artistic style and traditions of British coinage during the early 20th century. The reverse displays the famous seated figure of Britannia, holding a trident and shield while facing the sea. Britannia has symbolized Britain's strength, courage, and naval power for centuries. The date, 1917, appears below Britannia, while the denomination, 1 penny, is displayed prominently above the design. The coin is made of bronze and measures approximately 30.8 millimeters in diameter, weighing around 9.45 grams. Even after more than 100 years, many examples still retain enough detail for collectors to appreciate their historical beauty. One of the most common questions collectors ask is whether the 1917 United Kingdom penny is rare. The answer depends largely on its condition. The Royal Mint produced a large number of these coins during 1917, so circulated examples are generally considered common rather than extremely rare. However, collector demand remains steady because the coin is over a century old and represents Britain's World War I era. Many beginning collectors seek circulated examples because they are affordable and historically interesting. Coins with readable dates, attractive surfaces, and original color are usually more desirable than heavily worn or damaged pieces. Damaged examples, including coins with scratches, corrosion, cleaning marks, bends, environmental damage, or heavy wear, are usually worth less than undamaged circulated coins. Even so, collectors sometimes purchase damaged examples simply to complete a date collection or own a genuine wartime coin. While damaged pieces are not especially valuable, they still hold historical significance. Higher-grade examples showing sharp details, minimal wear, and original mint luster become much scarcer and attract stronger bidding from experienced collectors during auctions. Now let's discuss the current market value of the 1917 United Kingdom 1 penny in US dollars. A heavily worn or damaged example typically sells for around $1 to $5. An average circulated coin in decent condition usually brings between $5 and $15. A well-preserved circulated example with strong details can sell for approximately $15 to $40. Coins graded in extremely fine condition often reach $50 to $120, depending on eye appeal and surface quality. Uncirculated examples with original mint luster generally sell for $150 to $400 or more. Exceptional certified specimens in mint state 65 or higher have occasionally sold for $700 to over $2,000 at major auctions, particularly when they possess outstanding eye appeal and exceptional preservation. These values can change over time depending on collector demand, auction activity, grading, and the overall coin market. Several important factors can significantly increase the value of a 1917 penny. Original surfaces without cleaning are highly desirable. Strong strike quality, attractive chocolate brown color, and minimal contact marks all improve collector interest. Professional grading by respected grading companies can also increase buyer confidence and auction prices. Collectors should also examine the coin carefully for unusual errors or striking varieties. Although major errors are uncommon, authenticated varieties can sometimes command substantial premiums over standard examples. If you own a 1917 United Kingdom 1 penny, avoid cleaning or polishing it. Cleaning can permanently damage the coin's original surface and reduce its collector value. Always hold the coin by its edges and store it in a protective holder or archival quality coin flip to prevent additional wear. Compare your coin with certified examples to estimate its grade, and if you believe it is in exceptional condition, consider submitting it for professional grading. Before buying or selling, research recent auction results to understand current market prices rather than relying on outdated estimates. Most importantly, remember that historical importance often makes these coins enjoyable to collect even when their monetary value is modest. The United Kingdom 1 penny 1917 is much more than an old bronze coin. It is a surviving artifact from the First World War and a reminder of Britain's rich numismatic heritage. While most circulated and damaged examples are relatively affordable, their historical significance continues to attract collectors around the world. Better preserved examples, especially certified mint state coins, can achieve impressive prices at auction and remain highly sought after. Next up, the United Kingdom 1 penny 1896 in rusty and damaged condition. At first glance, a heavily worn or corroded Victorian penny may appear to have little value, but appearances can be deceiving. Many collectors are fascinated by coins from the reign of Queen Victoria because they represent one of the most important periods in British history. While a rusty or damaged 1896 penny is generally worth much less than a well-preserved example, some pieces still attract collectors due to their historical significance, unusual varieties, or exceptionally rare errors. In this video, we'll explore the history of this famous penny, examine its design and unique features, discuss its rarity in damaged condition, reveal realistic auction market values in US dollars, and share valuable tips that can help collectors identify potentially valuable examples. The United Kingdom 1 penny dated 1896 was struck during the reign of Queen Victoria, one of Britain's longest-serving monarchs. By the late 19th century, the British Empire had become the largest empire in the world, and the penny served as an everyday coin used by millions of people across Britain and many overseas territories. The coin was produced by the Royal Mint using bronze, a durable alloy that replaced the earlier copper pennies during the Victorian era. The 1896 penny circulated through shops, markets, factories, railways, and countless daily transactions. It witnessed the height of the Industrial Revolution and the expansion of British influence around the world. Every scratch, dent, and worn edge on surviving examples tells a story of decades of circulation. Because of this historical connection, even damaged examples continue to interest collectors who appreciate Victorian coinage. The obverse of the 1896 penny features the elegant portrait of Queen Victoria, often referred to as the old head or veiled head design. The Queen is shown wearing a veil and small crown, symbolizing the dignity and maturity of her later reign. Around the portrait appears the royal inscription identifying Queen Victoria. The reverse displays the famous seated figure of Britannia, holding a trident with a shield resting beside her, representing Britain's naval strength and national identity. The date 1896 appears prominently beneath Britannia. The coin is composed of bronze, measures approximately 30.8 millimeters in diameter, and weighs about 9.45 grams when not excessively worn. Although millions of these pennies were produced, collectors always examine important details such as strong lettering, visible date, complete rim, original surfaces, and any unusual die varieties. Even heavily circulated examples can become desirable if they display a rare minting error or exceptional historical character. One of the biggest questions collectors ask is whether a rusty or damaged 1896 penny is rare. The answer depends on the extent of the damage. Since the coin is made of bronze, true rust does not form on the metal itself, but bronze coins can develop heavy corrosion, environmental damage, green deposits, discoloration, or surface deterioration after years of improper storage. A common damaged 1896 penny with heavy corrosion, deep scratches, bent surfaces, or missing details is generally not considered rare because many examples have survived in similar condition. However, collectors still purchase such coins for inexpensive Victorian collections, historical displays, or educational purposes. Demand increases significantly if the damaged coin still has a clear date, readable portrait, attractive natural color beneath the corrosion, or an unusual striking error. Coins showing off-center strikes, rotated dies, doubled lettering, or other genuine mint errors can command premiums even when their condition is poor. Some collectors specifically enjoy collecting relic coins that clearly show evidence of more than a century of circulation. While these pieces rarely reach high auction prices, they remain interesting historical artifacts that continue to find buyers. Now let's discuss the auction market value of the 1896 United Kingdom 1 penny in rusty or damaged condition. Heavily worn or environmentally damaged example with significant corrosion typically sells for approximately $2 to $8. These coins are common among beginner collectors and are usually purchased for their historical appeal rather than investment value. A damaged coin with a fully readable date, complete portrait, and moderate corrosion often sells for around $10 to $25, especially if it has an attractive appearance despite its wear. Examples with less damage, stronger details, and better eye appeal may reach $30 to $75 at online auctions. Depending on collector demand, if a damaged 1896 penny possesses a genuine and verified mint error, the value can increase substantially. Certain authenticated error coins have sold for $100 to $500 or more, depending on the rarity of the error and the level of collector competition. High-grade, problem-free examples are considerably more valuable than damaged coins and can sell for several $100s, while exceptionally preserved certified specimens may achieve much higher prices at major auctions. However, such values do not apply to ordinary rusty or damaged examples. If you own a United Kingdom 1 penny dated 1896, avoid cleaning or polishing it. Cleaning can permanently reduce its collector value by removing the natural surface and creating scratches that experienced collectors can easily detect. Always inspect the date carefully to confirm it is truly 1896. Examine the portrait of Queen Victoria, the Britannia reverse, and the edges of the coin for unusual characteristics. Use a magnifying glass to search for doubled letters, misplaced digits, die cracks, or other minting anomalies that may increase value. Store the coin in a protective holder or archival quality flip to prevent further environmental damage. Keep it in a cool, dry place away from moisture, which can worsen corrosion on bronze coins. If you believe your coin displays an unusual error or exceptional preservation, consider having it authenticated and graded by a professional coin grading service before offering it for sale. Certification can increase buyer confidence and may improve auction results. Finally, remember that rarity depends on much more than age. Condition, originality, eye appeal, and genuine mint errors usually have a greater influence on value than the date alone. The United Kingdom 1 penny 1896 is a remarkable reminder of the Victorian era and Britain's rich numismatic heritage. Next up, the United Kingdom 1 penny 1898 in black shade, heavily circulated, and damaged condition. Many people discover old pennies in coin collections, inherited boxes, antique shops, or even forgotten drawers and immediately wonder whether they have found a valuable treasure. While the 1898 penny is more than a century old and certainly carries historical importance, its actual value depends on several factors including its condition, rarity, mint quality, and whether it has any unusual errors or varieties. In this video, we will explore the fascinating history of this Victorian-era penny, examine its unique design, discuss how damage and black toning affect collector demand, reveal realistic auction values in US dollars, and share useful tips that every coin collector should know before buying or selling one of these coins. The 1898 United Kingdom 1 penny was struck during the reign of Queen Victoria, one of Britain's longest-serving monarchs. By 1898, Queen Victoria had ruled for over 60 years, and the British Empire had become one of the largest empires in world history. Pennies from this period circulated throughout Britain and many parts of the empire, making them an essential part of everyday commerce. These coins were produced by the Royal Mint using bronze, replacing the larger copper pennies that had circulated earlier in the 19th century. Millions of 1898 pennies entered circulation, passing through countless hands during a time of industrial growth, expanding railways, and global trade. Today, these coins provide collectors with a direct connection to the late Victorian era, making them historically appealing despite their relatively common mintage. The obverse of the 1898 penny features the famous old head or veiled head portrait of Queen Victoria, designed by Sir Thomas Brock. The queen is shown wearing a widow's veil and a small crown, symbolizing the dignity and maturity of her later reign. Around the portrait appears the traditional Latin inscription identifying Victoria as Queen and Empress of India. On the reverse is the timeless image of Britannia seated with a trident in one hand and a shield bearing the Union flag beside her. The denomination, 1 penny, and the date, 1898, appear prominently below Britannia. The coin is composed of bronze, has a diameter of approximately 30.8 millimeters, and weighs about 9.45 grams. Even when heavily worn, these design elements remain recognizable and contribute to the coin's historical charm. Many surviving 1898 pennies display a dark black appearance. This black shade is usually the result of over 100 years of natural oxidation, environmental exposure, soil burial, moisture, or improper storage. In some cases, collectors appreciate natural dark toning because it reflects age. However, when the black color results from corrosion, chemical cleaning, fire damage, or environmental contamination, it often reduces collector interest. Damage may include scratches, dents, rim bumps, corrosion, cleaning marks, holes, or heavy wear. Such problems lower the coin's grade and therefore its market value. Although damaged examples remain collectible as historical artifacts, they are generally less desirable than coins with original surfaces and minimal wear. The standard 1898 United Kingdom 1 penny is not considered a rare date, as a large number were originally minted. Because of this, damaged examples are usually quite common in today's collector market. However, demand still exists among beginning collectors, history enthusiasts, educational institutions, and people building affordable Victorian coin collections. A damaged coin may also attract buyers if it has unusually attractive natural toning, an identifiable minting error, or a documented historical background. Extremely unusual varieties or dramatic mint errors can become significantly more valuable than ordinary pieces. Therefore, while an average blackened damaged penny is not especially rare, exceptional varieties remain highly desirable. Now let's discuss the value that most viewers are interested in. In heavily damaged, black-shaded condition, an ordinary 1898 United Kingdom 1 penny typically sells for about $2 to $10 at coin shows, online marketplaces, or small auctions. Coins showing moderate wear but retaining decent detail may bring around $10 to $30, especially if the surfaces remain stable without severe corrosion. Better preserved circulated examples can often reach $30 to $80, while attractive extremely fine specimens may sell for $100 to $250 depending on eye appeal and collector demand. Truly exceptional mint state examples with original red or brown color have realized several $100s, and outstanding certified examples can exceed $1,000 in major numismatic auctions. These higher prices, however, apply only to premium quality coins, not to ordinary damaged pieces. Even though most damaged 1898 pennies have modest values, certain characteristics can increase their desirability. Collectors carefully inspect the coin for unusual die errors, rotated dies, off-center strikes, doubled lettering, or other minting abnormalities. Original surfaces, attractive natural toning, strong remaining details, and certification by a respected grading service may also improve market confidence. Coins with verified provenance from famous collections sometimes command stronger prices as well. Before assuming a coin is extremely valuable, it is wise to compare it with authenticated auction results and seek opinions from experienced numismatists. If you own an 1898 United Kingdom 1 penny, avoid cleaning or polishing it. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce collector value. Handle the coin only by its edges and store it in a protective holder or archival quality flip to prevent additional wear. If you believe your coin has an unusual error or is in unusually high grade, consider having it authenticated and professionally graded. Research recent auction sales rather than relying on sensational internet claims. Accurate identification, proper grading, and patience are the keys to understanding the true value of any historic coin. The 1898 United Kingdom 1 penny remains a fascinating reminder of the Victorian era and the remarkable history of the British Empire. Although a black-shaded, damaged example is generally worth only a few dollars, it still represents more than 125 years of history and continues to attract collectors interested in affordable antique coins. Exceptional varieties, rare mint errors, or superbly preserved examples can be worth considerably more. Next up, the United Kingdom 1 penny dated 1890. At first glance, this old copper coin may appear to be nothing more than a worn and dirty penny that has spent more than a century in circulation. However, many collectors know that age alone can make a coin historically significant, and certain varieties, errors, or exceptionally preserved examples can become surprisingly valuable. In this video, we'll explore the history of the 1891 penny, examine its unique design features, discuss how a dirty condition affects its rarity and desirability, review realistic auction market values in US dollars, and finish with practical tips that can help collectors identify whether they own an ordinary coin or something much more special. The 1890 United Kingdom 1 penny was struck during the long and remarkable reign of Queen Victoria, one of Britain's most influential monarchs. By 1890, the British Empire had become one of the largest empires in world history, with trade and influence extending across the globe. The penny was an essential everyday coin used by millions of people for daily purchases, transportation, food, and countless ordinary transactions. These pennies were struck in bronze rather than the earlier copper composition introduced before the Victorian bronze coinage reforms. Millions of 1890 pennies entered circulation, making them common in everyday commerce during the late 19th century. Because they were used extensively, many surviving examples today show heavy wear, scratches, dirt accumulation, corrosion, and discoloration. Finding one in perfect condition is far more difficult than finding one that is heavily circulated. The coin represents not only British monetary history but also an era of rapid industrial growth, expanding railways, scientific advancement, and worldwide trade. Every surviving example carries a small piece of Victorian history. The obverse of the 1891 penny features the famous portrait of Queen Victoria, wearing her Jubilee crown. Around the portrait appears the Latin inscription identifying Victoria as Queen and Empress. This portrait is one of the most recognizable designs in British coinage and remains popular among collectors today. The reverse displays the classic seated figure of Britannia, holding a trident while resting beside a shield decorated with the Union flag. Britannia symbolizes Britain's naval strength, stability, and national pride. Behind Britannia appears the sea, while the denomination 1 penny and the date 1890 are clearly displayed beneath. The coin measures approximately 30.8 millimeters in diameter and weighs about 9.45 grams. Its bronze composition gives it a distinctive brown appearance, although many circulated examples have become dark brown, nearly black, or covered with dirt and environmental deposits after more than 130 years. Collectors also examine details such as sharp lettering, the condition of Britannia's shield, Queen Victoria's hair, and the visibility of the date. These elements significantly influence collector interest and final auction prices. One of the biggest questions collectors ask is whether a dirty or heavily circulated 1890 penny is rare. The answer depends on several important factors. An ordinary dirty 1890 penny is generally not considered rare, because large numbers were originally produced and many still survive today. Dirt, stains, environmental damage, and heavy circulation usually reduce the coin's market value since collectors generally prefer coins with original surfaces and minimal wear. However, a dirty appearance does not always mean the coin lacks value. Some collectors intentionally leave old coins uncleaned because cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce collector interest. Original dirt that has accumulated naturally over decades is often preferred over harsh cleaning that removes the coin's historic patina. If a dirty 1890 penny happens to possess a rare die variety, unusual striking error, or exceptional historical provenance, its value could increase significantly despite its appearance. Professional grading can sometimes reveal hidden details beneath years of accumulated dirt. Collectors remain interested in these coins because they represent genuine Victorian history. Even worn examples are affordable entry points for new collectors beginning a British coin collection. Now let's discuss realistic auction market values in US dollars. A heavily circulated and dirty 1890 United Kingdom 1 penny with significant wear generally sells for approximately $2 to $10. Examples with clearer details but still showing dirt and circulation often sell between $10 and $30. Very fine examples retaining much of their original design may achieve prices between $40 and $100 depending on eye appeal and demand. Extremely fine specimens frequently realize between $120 and $300 at auctions. Uncirculated examples with attractive original surfaces often sell from $400 to over $1,000, depending on certification, color, and overall quality. For rare minting error, unusual die variety, or exceptionally preserved specimen appears at a major auction, collectors have occasionally paid several thousand US dollars. Such coins are extremely uncommon and should not be confused with ordinary circulated examples. Remember that auction prices fluctuate based on collector demand, certification, rarity, eye appeal, and current market conditions. Two coins of the same date may sell for dramatically different amounts depending on their condition. If you own an 1891 penny, Begin by carefully examining the date and ensuring all design details are genuine. Compare the weight, diameter, and design with official specifications to avoid counterfeit examples. Avoid cleaning the coin with chemicals, polishing cloths, or abrasive materials. Cleaning can permanently damage the original surface and often lowers its collector value. Store the coin in an acid-free holder or protective capsule to prevent further environmental damage. Proper storage helps preserve whatever detail remains. Usually sell for only a few dollars. Exceptional uncirculated coins, rare varieties, and genuine mint errors can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars at major auctions. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the 1890 United Kingdom 1 penny and its auction value, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next fascinating coin discovery. Happy collecting, and we'll see you in the next video.